Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Honors Podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself? Welcome to the Honors Podcast.
Definitely. My name is Jardel Javier. I'm a current senior here at High Point University, majoring in marketing and minoring in sales and global commerce. I'm originally from Naperville, Illinois, so definitely a little bit of a different environment here in North Carolina for college, but I've been loving it so far. I've become quite involved on campus. I'm an ambassador, part of the honors program, obviously. I used to be very heavily involved with Sales Club. I'm a brother of AK Psi, the co-professional business fraternity, and I could go on, but have definitely enjoyed my time on campus these past 4 years.
Yes, Jardel is a famously busy girl.
Yes.
And you know a lot of people.
I do.
So,
I'd like to think so, at least.
Yeah. And I've got an opening philosophy question for you.
Go for it.
So you're one of the most social people I know, and that you have a lot of relationships and you like to hang out with a lot of people. What is your philosophy on making and developing relationships, specifically in the context of college? Like, why should one do that? And what's the value of that you're going to carry for the rest of your life?
I think having relationships is super important, mostly because, at the end of the day, we're all here on Earth as people with other people. And so to isolate yourself and to not make the effort to get to know others, no matter what the extent is. I don't think everybody has to be best friends, but I don't think there's anything wrong with just being good acquaintances with somebody, or even just saying hi to somebody on the street if you don't know them and wishing them a good day. I think it just connects us as humans, and it makes our lives worth it. We're busy people. I'm busy. We're busy as honors kids, as people in general. And so getting to connect with others throughout a possibly mundane day, I think, can lighten up a little bit.
Yeah. And what makes you successful at making relationships? What's the key to success here, Jardel?
I think I just don't get embarrassed. I'm not the type of person who's hesitant to talk to somebody new. I don't really get stressed about social situations, and I think it also really comes down to me enjoying it. I love talking to people so much, and so it makes it something enjoyable rather than something that I have to do for the sake of, being productive or increasing my network and whatnot.
That's good. Do you remember when we first met, how we became friends?
I actually don't.
Me neither. It's one of those things, for one of those friendships where I feel like you've just always been there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's she just popped up, and we've just been, me and Jardel vibe, if you don't know. It's a fun time. But yeah, I know what you mean. And I realized this yesterday when we were walking to the market, the C-store.
The C-store, thank you.
The C-store. And we were on a time crunch. We said, okay, we're going straight to the C-store, and then we're going straight to class. And then she started talking to two different people. It's like, Jardel, we got to go. So it was really funny. But then I admired it because sometimes you can get really stuck in your own personal goal and going straight for what you want to do. But it's important to just check in with others,
Definitely.
That's really important. Let's talk about your major. So marketing. Kind of explain how it works at HPU for those who might be interested in it. Particularly how it works within the business school and kind of what differentiates it from other business majors, since they all kind of blend together for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people mix up marketing and sales, and they actually used to be part of the same broader Phillips School of Business, but marketing is actually still under the School of Business, and sales has gone to the School of Entrepreneurship. So they're completely different schools now, but marketing, I would say, is one of the business majors. And one thing that makes the business school so great is it is pretty all-encompassing. We do cover all of the subjects. So even as a marketing major, I do still have to take finance, accounting, general Excel classes, communication classes, and whatnot. And I think that's the great part about it, because I get a broader view of what business looks like in the real world, but I can still hone in on what actually interests me, which is the marketing side of things.
Did you have a idea about business when you were coming into college that you now have changed your mind on coming out the end of it? Because business, everyone likes to talk about business, they know what business is. What actually is business in the academic sense of you've studied it, you're going to graduate with a degree in it. how do you define business now versus when you were in high school?
Yeah. I feel like it's more of a mindset thing more than anything. I think coming into college, I definitely looked at business as more so a career path, a job, a degree. But the more people that I meet throughout college, I feel like there are so many people who are business minded or who are even in a business career path, but it's like that's not where they started. For instance, I met this one top salesperson in Stryker, one of the best med device companies in the nation, and she started off as, I think, an English teacher. So you never really know where you're going to end up, and I think it's more so the mindset and the drive and the willingness to go into business that makes somebody, I guess, a business person rather than just a simple degree or, a major.
Okay, so a mindset shift. So that's obviously something that impacts people's lives. How has studying business in college impacted your life? And what's something unexpected that it's helped you realize?
I'd say studying business here, kind of to bring it back to the meeting new people, it really has allowed me to meet so many new people. I mean, my freshman year, I got the opportunity to pitch a business idea to Mark Randolph, who's the co-founder of Netflix. That was definitely the coolest but the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. But I mean, just opportunities like that and getting to meet people like that, I think is really where my business major specifically has impacted my life here at HPU, just getting to meet so many new people and learning from them and then applying what I learned from them into my own life.
Very cool. Okay, let's take a road trip to the beginning. Your context growing up in Naperville, Illinois.
Naperville.
Naperville. So what do we need to know about your context, how you grew up, where you grew up, that tells us about who you are today?
Yeah. I would say Naperville specifically is definitely one of the more, I guess, affluent neighborhoods, cities of Chicago. I feel like a lot of times when I tell people I'm from Chicago and then they ask me where I'm actually from and I say Naperville, they usually laugh about it because they're like, of course you say you're from Chicago when you're actually just from Naperville. But, I mean, Naperville's a great place. We have just so many things to do, great schools, honestly. I feel like I grew up in a very driven environment. A lot of my friends growing up were very honors-esque. Like, they cared about their grades, they cared about learning, and they wanted to better themselves every day. And so I think I was fortunate enough to grow up in that sort of environment that pushed me to be better rather than just, I don't know, maybe just going through my high school days not really caring about anything.
What were you like as a young child, though?
Like, how old are we talking?
What's like the earliest you can remember?
So when I was younger, actually, I was very, very quiet, which I know is super shocking to anybody who knows me now. But elementary school, I think I was in 5th grade and we were doing superlatives. I was voted as, I think, one of the 2 shyest people in the class, which is crazy to look back at now that I'm a very, very social person and I love talking to people. But as a young child, I was super quiet, super shy, didn't really want to talk to people or was too scared to, at least.
What were you into? Like, what was the book you read or the TV show you watched or the movie that you were obsessed with?
I'd probably say maybe Harry Potter. I feel like that's a very cliche answer.
No, the cliche answer is Percy Jackson.
You think so? Over Harry Potter?
Yes.
I don't know about that. I almost feel like
the
Harry
only other
Potter
person
is...
who said Harry Potter is Shauna.
Really? I've always thought that Harry Potter was the segue into Percy Jackson rather than the other way around.
Didn't Percy come out before Harry Potter, though?
I have no idea.
Up.
Gonna look it up.
Percy.
I think maybe because Harry Potter had, at least I think, pretty solid movie adaptations. I've always thought that people just kind of knew about Harry Potter a little bit more. It's the one that has more memes. It's the one that has more common references.
Interesting. So Harry Potter came out in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Percy Jackson came out in 2005.
I'm telling you. It's a classic, at least
There
comparatively.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Why stories? Like, why do we do that? Stories and stuff.
Why do we? Entertainment?
But why Harry Potter? Like, isn't that strange that a single story rise in enough popularity that it's shared amongst many individuals that they still like dress up as Harry Potter people
Yeah.
as adults.
No, that's a good point. I've always wondered what makes one movie or franchise more popular than others when a lot of times there are very, very quality pieces of work that exist, but they just never get the popularity that
Yeah.
other things do.
And like Harry Potter isn't, oh, it is. It's a bit profound. It's pretty,
Yeah.
it's novel for its genre at the time. Like that was like the first kind of like spellcasting novels franchise, I'm pretty sure. I
Yeah.
don't know. It was like the next thing to follow the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and that fantasy building stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
And escapism is also a thing you hear
Yep.
about a lot, especially in the American culture. Because I don't know, we don't like the world we're living in, so we want to escape to another one.
I do feel like fantasy series and books tend to be the ones that get the most popularity comparatively to other genres,
Yeah.
just because usually they also follow a hero and everybody loves a good victory story, or kind of like what you're saying, escapism. It's easier to delve into a fictional, magical world rather than something that we might experience in our everyday life.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So as a learner and you're going through, you established that you were a pretty good academic kid. Was the environment what was always driving you, or was there a point you remember that you cared about learning and being a student?
I think it's always been both.
Yeah.
I intrinsically wanted to learn new things and be a good student for myself. I think I set high expectations for myself and high standards for myself, but it did help that everybody around me had the same standards for me. So
Yeah.
there wasn't any, I don't know, cognitive dissonance or anything like that. What I wanted for myself is what everybody expected of me too.
That's good. And then when you were in 5th grade, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I think I wanted to be an architect. If I'm remembering my little,
Yeah.
what do you
The
want to
thing,
be
the little
when you grow up?
chalkboard.
Yep. Because I used to draw a lot, and I was a decent drawer, and so I think at the time I wanted to go into something like architecture or maybe even engineering. But then I realized I'm not the biggest fan of math, so that changed.
Yeah. And here we are.
And here we are.
But when you've talked to me about marketing and like your interest in sales, there is a lot of creativity in it to an extent, because there's not really a strict formula to successful marketing, right?
I wouldn't say so
No.
necessarily.
So like it's very like creative and like on the fly, coming up with stuff, working with a team, which those are important skills that are lacking, I think.
I would say so too. I mean, there's a reason why we go to High Point University, the premier life skills university, over other places, because we do feel like those skills are lacking.
Yeah.
But
The parents think it too. That's
Yeah.
why they love it too. Speaking of HPU, great segue.
look at that.
Fast forward to high school, senior year. What's the college journey for you? What were you looking for in college, and how did you end up here?
Once I knew what I wanted to major in, I think I kind of went from there, and I would just look up top business schools in Illinois, top business schools in the Midwest. And I was pretty set on going to school close to home just so that I could be by my family. I'm a big family person, and also just, for ease of transport and whatnot. But then my mom actually is the person who introduced me to High Point, because way back when, maybe 15 years ago now or so, she actually visited High Point for a business event, and that's where she found out about this school. And then ever since then, we've always had random High Point merch lying around from that event, so I'd heard about it. So then it finally came down to us coming to college, and she kind of dropped the idea into my head. We visited, I loved it, attended an open house, and the rest is history. I feel like usually once you visit HPU, it's over from there. Like, you're going to HPU.
Yeah.
And that kind of is what happened.
But what was it for you?
Like, the reason why I chose High Point,
Yeah.
I would say the people, for the most part, because, I mean, it's really just unlike anywhere else. Like, I love Mr. Ron at the kiosk stand. I love Officer Nehemiah, one of our security guards, and I was able to feel that sort of community and family dynamic even before coming to college here. Like when I attended the open house, I feel like everybody, including staff, including faculty, actually cared that I was there. And that's not really something that I found at any other school. And then I'd also say the life skills part of it, I think it's cool that, I mean, I'm about to graduate in less than 2 months, and I'm going to get to walk the stage with a diploma, but also with life skills and additional things on top of that.
What are the life skills that you earned?
That's a good question. I'd say there's so many. And I think people sometimes narrow it down to, I mean, especially with High Point, like the etiquette and things like that. But I think a lot of it is more so, again, going back to that mindset thing, like knowing how to think about certain situations, being willing to learn in a new environment, being willing to be a professional in a professional setting. I think those are more so the life skills rather than some of the technical things like, oh, how to use a fork with a certain entree. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really good because like me and Jardel are both ambassadors as well. It's one of the first places we met too, I think.
Pretty sure.
And we get asked a good bit about like what are the life skills?
Yep.
Like what does that mean? Because it's a tagline that you don't see anywhere else at any other university. It definitely sets High Point apart. And it's definitely something you choose to pursue. Another saying is to choose to be extraordinary, which gets old and cliche, but like it is true. Like everything the university provides is there, but it's not shoved down your face once you are a student here. You really do got to choose it. So that's like the biggest life skill I've come to realize I talk about on tour is like the biggest lesson you learn is that it's your choice to do whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel like High Point emphasizes life after college. And so I think that's where a lot of the important life skills come from too. Like we are preparing to have professional dinners with our boss, or we are preparing to network with higher ups that we might not normally get exposure to. And I think that's also where the life skills come from because you're actually preparing for life after college and not just what you're doing in college now.
Yeah. And with what you're doing in college, you said you had decided on your major and then decided on what schools to go to. Like, how did you decide on your major? Like, how does anyone decide on their major, you know?
Not to bring it back to people again, but that truly is where it stemmed from. And not even just the networking side of things. Like, as much as I love talking to people and listening to people talk, I am also just fascinated by the way people's brains work. Like, I think it's super interesting why people make the decisions that they do or why people act in a certain way. And so it was almost the psychology side of things that pushed me towards marketing specifically. I knew I love psychology and how people think, and I was just able to mix it with business through a marketing major. At least that's what my thought process was when choosing a major.
Yeah, it's good. And you've stuck with it here. And then what's the story with the minors? You got...
Yeah.
Don't tell me. Sales minor?
Yep.
And global commerce. Which, like, those kind of relate, but then what kind of just made you decide to add those to the mix?
I'd say with sales, I just got incredibly involved with Sales Club. I mean, Larry Quinn, for one, I think is probably the person who drew me to Sales Club, and then I just fell in love with it from there. I was on the executive council for a good few years and have made sales into my career, actually. That's what I'm going to be doing after college. And so I think sales was just something that I always took interest in. I feel like sales is more so the application of marketing, if that makes sense. Like, marketing is the psychology and why people think. I almost feel like sales is then taking that psychology that you learn and applying it to an actual conversation, which is exactly what I want to do. So that's why sales. And then global commerce, I think it's important to just understand that. I mean, especially in the business world, there are other countries, there are other people. There's so many different cultures to be invested in, and it's important to be invested in them. And so I think adding that little global commerce minor helped me to understand business on a global scale rather than just maybe the U.S. or, local countries too.
Do you have any insight about the future of commerce and business in the world? Because it seems like the world is getting more global and more interconnected. And like that would be a first for human history, I think.
The first in human history, like to become more global, or
To be truly globally connected,
oh,
like
I see what you mean now.
every country, every
Gotcha.
continent
Gotcha.
engages in business
Yeah.
and trade and economy.
I mean, I think it comes down to technology, and I'm a little bit biased because I am going to work with a tech sales or a tech insights sales company after college, but technology is huge and it's what makes that interconnectedness possible. And I think that's going to continue to be the future of business and commerce for many, many years to come. I don't really see it changing in any sort of way.
If it was going to fail, what would cause it to fail?
Maybe reliance on it. I think business and truly any other major career path relies on people at the heart. Like at the end of the day, if you're selling to somebody, you're selling to a person. If you're operating on somebody, you're operating on a person. And so we're kind of that common denominator between any sort of interaction, any sort of career path. And so I think if we rely too much on technology, that could be bad. And that could be what leads to us not being successful with the implementation of technology. Thoughts?
I agree. But society doesn't agree.
You don't think so?
Like, we are increasingly reliant on technology to a concerning degree, more
Fair
so on
enough.
the individual level of like mental health, independence, and inability to independently function. So I don't know how that scales up to like a company, you know?
I do think, I feel like the warning is there and the caution is there because I do feel like, especially big companies and corporations, they do put regulations around things like AI or different types of automated technology. And I feel like more and more we're hearing the warnings, but I don't know if that's just a sign of we are starting to fail with technology, and so therefore we need to warn people rather than it being a proactive warning. But I don't know.
You do know.
Do I?
Don't deny it. Okay. So you came to High Point. Shout out to Mother Javier. And then when did honors come into the picture? And then how did you choose the honors program?
I heard about honors from one of my good friends who's now an alum, and our moms actually met off of Facebook, which is so on brand for our parents now that our families know each other. But they met on Facebook, and from there I got to talking to this alum, and she was telling me how much she loved the honors program. Like, it was one of the main things that she would talk about whenever she talked about what made her college experience so great.
Who was it?
Are you familiar with Annie Sellenberg? She's also from Chicago, or from Illinois.
Pretend I do.
Okay. So Annie, she she would always talk about honors, and she's kind of the one who introduced me to Dr. Hedman, I believe, and just talked about Finch and the classes. I think she told me about Here Be Dragons, and I remember thinking that was just so cool, like getting to take different classes other than the regular gen eds. Like, I love the classes that we take in honors. So I think she was kind of my segue into choosing the program.
And now, having completed it, being on the flip side of it,
Don't remind me.
what is honors and what has it meant to you?
Honors, I think at its core it's just interdisciplinary nature. I think it's a way for people of different majors to come together and really just think and talk and interact. And you don't really get that in other spaces on campus. I mean, maybe clubs, you can really join whatever club you want, even if you're not the major, but honors is really just the perfect place to bring those different perspectives and different people together. So I think that's kind of where the purpose of honors lies.
Is there a class or experience, anecdote that really articulates that for you?
I mean, thinking about it recently, I actually just met up with a friend from honors who I honestly haven't really hung out with since freshman year when we lived together. And we were jamming out on violin and guitar. He wanted me to learn this one country song that he's been playing. And it was really just great to catch up, honestly. And I think that ability to reconnect with somebody that you haven't talked to, at least seriously, in years, but still getting to just have that connection, having that relationship is really cool. And again, like honors is truly what fosters that. Like I wouldn't get to see this guy anywhere else except for in our honors classes. And then when we do see each other outside of honors classes, just randomly, like it's a great time.
Was it David?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's a good guess though. It was you know Dylan DeGette?
Dylan DeGette?
Yeah.
Of course I know Dylan DeGette.
Oh right, theater. That's
We
my
were
bad.
in 2
That's my
shows
bad.
together.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I can think of off the top of my mind. There are so many other ones, but
No, that's a good one.
yeah,
I'm trying to get him on the podcast.
that would be cool.
Yeah. He's a hard man to pin down. He's good. Okay. That's really nice. Let me show you a photo.
Oh goodness, I'm scared.
Yes, this is from the Honors Challenge Archive.
Oh no, I think I already know.
Which one do you think it is?
I think it's me standing outside of Finch
Then let's not do
with
that
the
one.
suitcase. Oh,
Nah, we can talk. Do you remember what you said?
no, I don't.
Jardel said once upon a time as a freshman, I'm killing Finch. Parentheses, going far away as made clear by my attire. Suitcase, fanny pack, and bucket hat that we're going to pretend is a sailor hat. In parentheses. Because I got distracted by the people.
Big surprise.
For instance, I often walk in and out of my dorm room, run into someone, and then end up talking for 30 minutes when I should be doing something else. Looks like we got a good theme going for us. Mm-hmm. Ellen, here you go.
I just knew it was going to be that picture. It's one of my favorite pictures from college,
It's so
honestly.
crazy looking at these people because, like, look so... You
I
look so
do
different.
look young there. My hair's kind of the same, though.
It's weird because you come into college thinking you're grown up, but then senior year, you're like, you're a literal adult, but like you thought you were an adult the whole time.
That's how I feel like I'm going to feel in another 4 years.
Yeah.
I think,
like you think you're an adult now, but
I'm
you
not
haven't even
graduated, I
been
have
in the
a
real
job,
world.
But in 4 years, I think I'm going to look back and really realize that I just had no idea what I was doing at this point in my life. So
It was good.
that'll be interesting.
Where do you think you'll be in 4 years?
I don't know yet. I do have a job lined up. I'll be moving to Florida, which is
Yeah,
really
give some details
exciting.
on that.
I'll be joining the same company that I interned with this past summer.
Woo woo.
Woo! Probably 99%. But no, they're amazing. I really do love this company, and I'm looking forward to what I'll be doing. It's going to be an account management role in tech sales, which account management is basically a type of sales. It's kind of managing the long-term relationships rather than cold calling or other things that people might associate with sales. But I'll be doing that in Fort Myers, Florida, which is another big change going from Chicago to North Carolina to Florida.
It's a good sandwich. You got top to the middle to the bottom.
I just like kept on moving my way down, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'll be there in 4 years. It's just one of those things where I think I just have to be in it to know what I want to do from there.
I don't know if you're allowed to say, but like, how long is your like contract going to be for?
Well, that's the thing.
You're just hired.
I'm just hired, so I could stay there for 20 years if I just work my way up the ladder and keep getting promotions or maybe getting relocated. Or I could, possibly work there for a year or two and then move to a different company from there. But I don't want to say that I'm for sure doing one or the other because I truly don't know. I truly don't know.
Who does? No?
You
Because
never
it's
know.
just pursuing opportunity. Like, it's hard to be dead set on one thing and guarantee that you're going to do the one thing.
True.
Because that implies you'd have to control everything about everything.
I also feel like that's foolish too if you are so dead set on a goal that you don't let yourself stray from it. Because there are just so many factors to making decisions in general. And it's like if you can't let new information impact your decision, I just don't think that's smart.
What do you consider when you make any big life decision?
So I learned this from my mom. We always like to say, consider the best thing that can happen, the worst thing that can happen, and the most likely thing that can happen. So if I'm about to make a decision to do something, if I'm okay with the worst thing that can happen, then maybe it's probably an okay decision to make. If I really cannot stand the worst thing that can happen, or if the worst thing that can happen outweighs the best thing that can happen, then I probably shouldn't make that decision. And I mean, same thing with all three of those, just weighing bad, good, most likely, and navigating it from there. And I feel like throughout my 4 years, throughout my life, I do feel like that's been a key way I've made decisions, and it's helping to filter my decisions a little bit.
That's really good. What is the ultimate place you would like to be in your life? Even if it's vague, I would like to have this type of thing, or it can be very specific. I want a blue cottage house and
with shutters and everything. No,
a wraparound porch.
The wraparound porch. Have you watched Notebook? Didn't you say that you watched this recently?
I did watch The Notebook recently.
Okay.
There was not a wraparound porch in that movie.
That was one of the things that she wanted for her.
That's true.
For her house that Noah built.
The camera did not show it. I just was surprised that like he then turned it into the nursing home that she had to stay in.
Yeah, no, that.
And I was like, dang.
It's an interesting story. My dad always cries whenever he watches that movie.
It was all right.
It's a family favorite. Let's see. Where do I want to be in my life? Probably, if I could think of one word to describe it, I'd say family. I think my family is a motivation for a lot of the things that I do. Like, if I could just hang out with my family and friends the entire day, my entire life, like, that would be so ideal. I think a lot of the hard work that I put into my school and my work is because of my family, because I want to eventually have my family, or have a family of my own, and then be able to support them, and not just support them, but be comfortable with them and hang out with my kids. So I think long-term wise and in a broad sense, family is kind of where I want to be. Isn't that cute?
It's cute. I haven't heard that before. I'm trying not to say something racist, but it's okay.
What?
I was going to say, that's so Eastern.
Yeah, well, I mean,
which is not wrong.
No, you're not wrong. Like collectivism and
because it is the whole collectivism
values.
Versus individualism. Yeah. That is the East versus the West.
So you're not wrong. You're just stating facts.
Stating facts.
You're stating facts.
Racism's real, guys. You heard it here.
Hashtag.
Hashtag Women's History Month.
Hashtag Stop Asian Hate. I don't know.
Stop Asian Hate. I impersonated a Chinese person the other day.
For what reason?
It was in an improv game.
Okay. That makes sense.
I was like, oh no. We were like doing a bit. I was like, oh no, I'm turning Chinese. 你好，我们讲西小.
Honestly, I love that. I think people, when it comes to humor at least, people are so sensitive nowadays, and everybody's always getting canceled. But it's like, if you're a comedian especially, like if that's your job or your role, then why not push it to its limits? Like, I feel like everything's okay in comedy. Like, at the end of the day, it's meant to be funny. So
it is. You need to watch Atsuku's special.
I do.
Because she literally talks about that in the thing, because she immigrated / was kidnapped from Japan by her mom from her dad.
Wow.
So it's really
crazy.
funny. But she like always jokes about how it's her destiny, because Japan is a really safe and like good country, free healthcare, all this stuff. And she jokes that it's too easy to live in Japan, so she has to come to America, because Japan is not an environment that breeds a comedian. It's really funny.
Interesting.
It's funny when she does
it. Listen.
Yeah.
This is a Netflix special?
It's Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. I don't know if I have Disney Plus. But
I'll watch it again.
I'll invest.
We can
watch it together.
It's so funny. But yeah, it's really, but yeah, humor, that's another life skill I like. Have a good sense of humor. That's a quote somewhere. Learn to laugh at yourself.
Is that a quote? I don't know.
I swear I've seen that somewhere on the promenade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right next to some super funny historical comedian. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they intentionally try to match up quote
Oh,
statue, and
I
then
have
also
not
statue
seen that.
building. Well, I'm pretty sure it's Beethoven who's right next to Hayworth, which makes
Well,
sense.
yeah, yeah, but that's just him. And then like if Albert, then why is Rosa Parks outside of Finch? Explain that.
That's a good question. Or Gandhi. I think Gandhi's outside of Finch too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Gandhi and Rosa Parks are our guardians.
The Finch mascots.
Yes, I wish
I
there
don't
was more
know.
statue lore with like the ones like why isn't there like a legend about like Rosa Parks and Gandhi guarding Finch?
I will say the Gandhi statue has freaked me out so many times, or at least when I lived in Finchdale, because I lived on the promenade side for I think a year, and every single time I'd look out my window, it looked like somebody was sitting in that bench and just standing super, super still, but really it was just the Gandhi statue.
I don't know if I've told you this before, but I really wish there was a night of the museum like High Point edition, specifically
Ooh,
during Christmas, so the Nutcrackers would come alive too.
I like that. I like that.
Because like it is a cast of characters up and down the promenade.
Nah, I think that'd be cool. Take it
Those
up
are
with
good.
Nito.
Okay, let's talk about education.
Sure.
We're wrapping up a little bit. You kind of answer this a little bit with honors, but overall, and going into the future with our technology advancements, what is the point of college?
This is very cost and value-esque.
Yes, call back.
And I know you're in the class right now, so it makes sense that you're pondering on these sorts of things.
Hey, I've been asking this since before I signed up for his class.
So this is an original idea. Okay. The point of college, I think it really does come back to the people. I think people coming together who normally wouldn't come together. I feel like that's really the essence of college. I mean, don't get me wrong, as I'm very professional, I'm very career driven. And so obviously, like, I think part of the point of college is to get a job afterwards and to prepare yourself for a career afterwards. But I think more on a deeper level, it truly is just bringing people together. Because, I mean, think about it. Like, you could get an online degree, and I guess that is still technically college, but on an online degree, you're not meeting other people. You're not getting different perspectives. You're not learning how to think in new ways. You're just getting the actual degree itself. And so I feel like college at its core is truly about bringing people together.
And does it do it well?
I'd
Could
say
it do
so.
it better?
I think it does it fairly well because I mean I think about my own friends and a lot of us have similar interests and similar mannerisms and personalities, but a lot of us also really, really don't. So I think people from different backgrounds and people who act differently are being brought together pretty well. I guess it does come down to a lot of people with similar mindsets probably do choose the same colleges. I mean, like everybody here at HPU, I'd assume, is at least in some respect pretty life skills driven or career driven and mindset driven. And so that can play a part. And so it could kind of create this group of people that's too like-minded. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like for the most part, humans are so complex. And so even if we have that one binding factor, that one common factor of, we're all into life skills, like we're all still completely different people otherwise. So I'd say it does a good job.
That's a good job. That's a good answer. All right. And then we got our last question.
Oh, goodness.
Open in this notebook. This is the leave a question. So this is the guest.
You got it.
This is the question from the previous guest.
Okay.
And you will leave a question for the next guest,
Sounds good.
who I am interviewing tomorrow. Thinking about all the connections you've made at HPU.
No way.
What memory lives rent-free in your head that you would share to future students?
Ooh. This is so difficult.
You have too many options.
I know exactly. I'm trying to sift through all the different memories right now. I would say super, super mundane memory, but it does randomly come to mind pretty often. I remember, it's an honors memory actually, in Finch, probably, I can't remember if it was freshman or sophomore year, there were maybe 10 of us in one room just all taking a nap. And I just think that is so honors, also so college in general, just getting to lay there and be with other people. I mean, like, when am I going to take a nap with my coworkers randomly in a small in a small dingy room, you know? And so I would say just that memory, it's really the small moments that I'm going to miss the most. I tell people this all the time. I think the people that I'm going to miss most when I leave college, it's honestly more so the people that I'm not super close friends with, rather than the people that I'm close friends with. Because the people who are very close to me, I'll still talk to them. We're still going to keep in touch. But it's really just those smaller interactions that I'm not going to get to carry on, that I'm really, really going to miss. And so just a small moment like us napping in Finch is something that comes to mind often, lives rent-free in my mind. And I think it's a cute moment to share with incoming students and other students.
That's really nice. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you.
I'm going to pass this over to you.
And
You
I just
choose
write
your
it
color, date it, and your first and last initial. You can reference earlier quotes for context.
That way there's no overlap.
Yeah.